welcome back to Tracas of Crisia. Last time, you defeated your first sort of masked creature, and was sort of trying to figure out what to do with his babies. But that decision was kind of taken out of your hands when some weird crow person samurai thing just took them. You kind of sort of tried to stop him, but he was definitely overpowered. You were definitely very easily overpowered, and he took those all in one hand and sort of flew away. We'll see if it's ever seen again. You went back to your bounty requester. Obviously handed him his axe. Obviously, handed everything all in. You've actually handed in the bounty as well, so you've gotten the reward money from that. And you've basically
tried the food.
Well, we'll get So you've obviously gone to Goldbrick and reported into him that you've completed the thing, but you haven't given him the mask yet. But you explained to him about this person that you saw, and then he calls Merrin, and she sort of name drops the Dark Swordsman to you. So obviously, before we kind of carry on with that, you wanted to sort of slot some things in before we on the way. So you wanted to try the food that you got from Sturg, and you wanted to sort of cast Identify on the mask.
Well, it was the debate too.
Okay.
Should
we do the food first? Yeah. All right.
Yes.
You try the food.
I don't try food.
You don't try the food?
Mm-mm.
Who does try the food? Everyone else?
Si, senor. I will
Yeah.
try the food.
So you try the food, and it actually tastes really good. Sebastian actually, it actually reminds you of when you had that volcanic curry.
Oh. Okay. Like spiciness
that
or like
textureness. No, obviously not, because obviously it's cooked differently.
yeah,
But like just that texture.
Hmm.
You know,
like the meat texture.
that sort of grit that it's not like just kind of like the way it sort of chews and the the juiciness of it. Like it just reminds you of that specifically, or at least for some reason when you have it, like you get sort of flashbacks to it. Obviously,
Tender.
again, exactly, because like, obviously the volcanic curry was like spiced and it's got all that special sauce and stuff on it. But like, just that meat it brings that into your mind especially compared to like everywhere else. It's like it really sort of you hone in on that because you took obviously such a massive interest in it when you were there.
Yeah. I'm just going to announce to the others. I think this is the meat they get for volcanic curry. Really nice. It's really tender.
Does Hrugguhl have any sense as to why it might taste different? Or is he surprised that it tastes different, perhaps?
Oh, I don't think you would know that. I
Fair
think
enough.
you'd have to be like a connoisseur of that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I think if you really wanted to really
Chef.
get to the nitty gritty of that. Yeah, exactly. You'd have to have a very specific kind of background. So no, I don't think you would know necessarily the finer details of.
Sorry. Go on.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was it. Really.
We didn't identify it. We don't have to detect magic. So the one meal that's left, I'm gonna stow in my backpack and let rot for now. Or actually, I'd rather it be fuck me. Sorry. Cramp.
Dude, walk around.
Would
Everybody.
Thordas know the difference since he's never really lived in a place that has like the demon shell thing, or?
I mean, what's interesting, obviously, your meat was mostly obviously not in, but then at the same time, there's a very big difference between eating your prey to farm curated meat. So, like what you would have eaten would probably be like somewhere in the middle kind of thing.
Okay.
But then it's difficult because like you're not like the meat you would have had in your tribe was like spit roasted essentially. Like you would have caught a thing, cooked it on like a fire, and then eaten it. Like it's not like you were preparing it like a meal as such. So it's very difficult to like sort of gauge where all that is kind of on a spectrum. I mean, obviously it is nice, but then you're most like grew up on eating corrupted meat, so.
I'm not gonna lie, I just got to call this out. You're about to say cat. Did Thordas eat cats?
Big cats.
I mean, corrupted cats.
Grubby cats, yeah.
Like
no,
house
fair
Yeah,
enough.
cats
not
or
actual cats.
Like
I don't think
lions.
any.
And...
I don't think any. Yeah, I don't think
Yeah.
any cats would have like, or
Well,
lions would have gone onto there.
9 lives means they
on
can feed a lot of
volcano.
people.
Yeah, that's true.
If
But,
it has a meat, you gotta eat.
So
yeah.
sorry, who can I give this meal to? I don't want it in my
Well,
backpack, but I do think we should keep it to eventually detect magic on it or something.
Well,
I
Sebastian.
mean, I could identify it.
Sebastian's got to identify.
Go on. Do your worst.
Yo comprendo. With it. After 10 minutes.
So, yeah. So obviously, I think the thing to sort of call out here is, when you did identify on the meat, in a settlement, you had that sort
Yeah, it
of
had like that
ground
microwavey.
hum. Yeah, you don't have that here. There's just silence
Mm.
from it.
Mm,
Which is almost unnerving in itself, maybe, because obviously you're used to that
organic. Yeah.
magical hum.
And used to all the pesticides.
But this is like, you don't get anything from this. It's like almost unnervingly quiet.
I just look at Agata and I'm just like, there is absolutely nothing wrong with this meat. If anything, it is so not wrong, it may be uncomfortable for you.
Not what I'm getting at.
I don't sense any poison, but
The farmer was a prick. I'd rather not do business with him. I'd rather not consume anything he produced.
see,
See,
understand.
indeed.
Do you mind if I
Get it gone. Process it.
cool, great.
Spell it.
Thordas?
Goes to a school.
Do you want to eat some?
Who was that question towards?
You.
You,
Woody.
Thordas. You want to eat some more?
Fuck yeah.
Great.
Okay. Yeah, you can obviously eat it now, or you can stow it away.
Oh
but
yeah, I'm having it now. I've already had my share.
It's already
I want
gone.
more.
That's what, it's already gone, yeah.
After
Yeah.
that fucking battle, Thordas is starving.
Yes.
Any bonuses from eating in this campaign, or is it just we are
No,
sustained?
no. Yeah, you're just okay.
Mm.
So, I
I'm just gonna go
wasn't.
to the bathroom after Thordas.
Yeah, I was gonna add like whole food and drink thing. I just can't be asked for that, so no, forget it. So yeah, so now it brings you to the question of like, what do you want to do with this mask?
Are we
and Arthur,
here?
obviously, you weren't here. No, you're not. Well, technically, we're doing this before
We're on
you
our
got
way.
here. So
Yep.
this would have been like, I might
Walking to
imagine,
Kryn.
walking from the farm to Kryn, you would have been doing this. So in that hour gap, Arthur, there is a journal entry for this mask. I don't know if you saw it, 'cause it had
Yes,
some writing on the
I
inside.
did.
But yeah, it's up to you what you want to. It's currently in Astra's bag, if I remember correctly. So
Hey,
Yeah, so the facts as we have them, the owl picked it up off the ground, nothing happened, and we put it in the bag and nothing happened.
sorry, I
And
want to
I've
add
also seen
one
the
sort of
stuff on
extra quick bit to that. Obviously, when the owl picked it up, all it did was grab its sort of eye hole bits and lifted it up. That's how it picked it up. So I just want to be very specific.
Can we
have
just
any
touch
of us touched it like with a
Nah.
cloth or anything like
No.
that, like around our hands?
No,
Like,
I went
no
straight
contact whatsoever?
from owl to straight from Faye to the bag.
Would Faye be able to get it back out the bag?
Yeah, don't see why not.
Okay.
I mean, you could just empty out the bag if you really
If-
wanted to kind of do that.
If possible, I would like to see the inside of the mask again. But this time, I will try to understand it.
Well, I wrote it down here if you want to see it.
Oh yes, that would work as well. Is it an exact copy, or is it?
Yeah. It's not too difficult to copy what's inside it.
Great. Then I would like to use.
Yo comprende.
No, I was thinking actually comprehend languages, but I don't know if I sorted it out.
Is that not yo comprende?
No,
No.
you comprende is
Yo comprende
identify
is
because
identify.
once I get it, I understand.
Yeah. What's comprehend languages then? Yo comprehende.
No, it's
No,
just
not quite.
comprehend language, because what's the point of comprehending all language when you could just say it in English?
yeah,
Because
yeah.
Spanish is superior. Is it Spanish or is it Snakish?
Spanish,
Serpentine.
well, snakish, I suppose. I've
It's
put my
in here it's like snake language.
I put snake Espanol.
Snake.
Yeah.
That's part of my animal handling spell. Anyway. Right. Yeah, no, I think I swapped out comprehend languages, so I don't have it anymore. So,
Yep,
I
and
will
you've used your potion as well. Your potion of comprehension was used.
And it's not
Yeah, I've already
necessarily a
used that,
language, they're
haven't I?
kind of runes. So, I don't know if we get
yeah,
away
so
with
it
that.
might not actually be a language.
Can we give it
Just
a visual pat down first? Can I vibe check it?
Sure. What are you looking for?
I guess I'm doing an insight check to detect. Someone else might be better with an arcana check, but I'll do an insight check to detect any will of the mask.
Ooh, interesting.
Will of the Mask.
Will of the mask.
So
It's 14, sorry.
I
Okay,
don't.
just on the slide thing, we can't get the owl to get out because the owl's chasing after the dark
Oh,
swordsman.
no, but the owl died, didn't it?
You died and you
resummoned
resummoned it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, of course.
Fresh
Yes,
Fae,
yes.
she fed back to us, didn't she?
Fresh Fae.
Have we had a rest since then?
Yes.
And
No.
one
Yes.
short rest.
We had a short
rest.
rest. Sorry, yes.
Short rest.
Yeah, your insight doesn't get anything.
Well, Arcana. What about
Doesn't
Arcana?
conscious.
Yeah, Arcana.
Someone else do the arcana.
I was going to say,
Yeah.
can I also do an arcana? I'm questioning if it's better if I also do an arcana, or can I help
It's up
the
to you.
arcana? Can I help the arcana? For
You're
our
the best
ability
arcana
to-
we have.
You're the brightest
Am I?
person we have.
Yes.
Yeah. None of us are intelligent.
Oh. Well,
Well,
Does Astra have a buff?
I've rolled my Arcana.
right.
I've got and I gave myself a helpful subroutine as well. Which
okay.
is
Help yourself out then.
yeah, I will. Which was 24.
Nice.
I got 16, so yeah, fair enough.
It's just an ordinary mask, nothing magical.
So you're basically what you're trying to glean from this?
Xenophonians.
Intent.
So-
Interesting.
So
I'm going for
magical intent, right? So, is it waiting? Do I feel that it's because at the moment, if I'm guessing it's kind of dormant, a little bit dormant. But do I feel that if is it waiting to spring into action, like to interact with a person?
Waiting to attack.
Yeah, waiting to unleash its trap card and be like, "Aha, you're screwed."
You activated my trap card.
So
Your trap card activated my trap card. No,
Yeah.
sorry.
Thordis has got to grab his sword
That's
and just
what
kill
I wanted.
himself.
So 24. It's interesting you talk about sort of trap cards and everything. It looks like obviously it itself is quite inert in the sense that it's not going to move. However, obviously being a druid, you can kind of get like this weird, like magical pull from it. Like
a hunger, like it wants.
it kind of like as if it wants to lure you in, like like a honey trap sort of scenario. Obviously you're more than capable of resisting such a thing. Maybe because you just killed the thing that it was attached to. Maybe it's but it seems like
long enough.
it wants you to come to it than the other way around.
True.
I think that's all you're going to get from a 24, but there's probably more to it. You probably wanted someone who's maybe even more like a wizard or someone
Needs to
who's
detect
really
magic
like
in it.
in the magical know. Sebastian, it's magic as fuck.
Yeah, it's magic as fuck. No sentience condition ring there. Okay.
Well, there you go.
All right. Okay. One last thing.
Mhm.
Let's see if Faye can put the mask on
Oh.
her face.
No. I
Well,
would not do that.
Look. The worst case scenario is I can dismiss Faye and she goes.
Yeah,
I'm going to remind you now.
But
Sorry, I'm going to because I said it before. I'll remind you again. That is not the worst thing that can happen.
It is. And she's my
It is not.
familiar.
No,
No,
it's
no,
not.
but then
Nah,
here's the
that's-
thing. Here's the
that's
thing.
She is a
DM
very
What happens-
spirit.
It's not
She's my
there.
familiar. I have the complete will to dismiss her.
No, but what happens if you lose that
Yeah.
connection?
Or if you dismiss her and then the mask
I can get. I
disappears.
can,
No,
It
but
is not the
you,
worst thing that
you
can
can
happen.
control her now, but what happens if the mask
Yeah.
basically annihilates your
She-
Mi
connection?
amigos. Mi amigos.
she's my familiar. There's
Until
nothing
they
else
put
that
the
can
mask
happen
on.
to her.
We would
Until they put the mask on.
yeah.
That's
Friends.
not how familiars work.
I can identify this, and if I were to
You
touch
have
it
to
and
touch
something,
it.
yes, but if I am to touch it, I have spent all my magical energy.
Mm.
I have spent everything I have, and I am the weakest of our group.
No,
But
Seb,
we would have to kill you to get it off.
you saw what happened to the
necessarily.
bird. You would not just die.
I believe you could
would
rip
be-
it off my
Seb,
face.
Listen,
No,
we would
you
not rip
could
it off
not
your
rip it
face.
off.
Your body would disintegrate. We'd make Gulbrek put it on.
We
That is a
don't put
terrible
the mask
idea.
on at all. No.
I don't want to put it on. I simply want to touch it to
It's
identify
not worth
it.
the risk. They have stronger mages than you. Sorry.
This isn't worth the risk.
Look, the job was to get the mask.
Yeah.
I understand that we want to learn about it, but with any of us as friends put it on, it would just be bad for. Let's just give it to the smart people.
Mm.
And
Look,
then
they've lied about it, everything to us already. Like, what's stopping them from lying about what's this mess?
It's
I
not-
agree.
That is
but
true.
Is it worth us dying to potentially find out?
Mm-mm.
I just,
You would be upset if I died. That's nice to know.
it's just
It's
more or less
a lot of paperwork.
right now.
You
I
are.
think we've seen what that mask is capable of, but we still have no idea what it does at the same
Mm.
time. I
think
don't trust that voodoo magic stuff, especially that mask.
If we're resorting to Thordas being the voice of reason here, we should certainly be listening.
It is
Vote
not
on it if we
this.
must, but you're outvoted,
I
friends.
am simply saying I am the weakest link. My
Seb,
magic is spent.
stop
That's not
talking.
You could
True.
easily take
Stop
me down.
talking. We're not allowing it.
You're not the weakest link. There
I
are
am
no
right
weak
now.
links. There are no weak links on this team. We are all strong, and we're all valid, and are all needed to succeed.
Exactly. We can't put ourselves at risk, even Faye. Should we
So we're
press
in
on?
agreement we're leaving it.
Yeah, this is giving too much bad vibes. We
Mhm.
can't risk
Yeah.
touching it.
Are we gonna rest before we get back to the guild?
Alongy.
No,
you
because we
went
technically
there.
did a
I don't
long
think so.
rest.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
we just
Yeah,
shot.
we're not sleeping anywhere, are we?
No, we'll be sleeping at the guild next.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll fast forward then back to the present. So yeah, the last thing obviously Merrin said to you was, "Are you familiar with the term dark swordsman?"
I know what a sword
Some
is.
form of
No.
history
Alright.
check.
I'm gonna take from your expressions that you don't. Well, as the rumor goes, there are these swordsmen, as the name entails, that are freakishly strong. But despite that, they don't attack settlements. They don't attack demon spawn or they don't really attack anything unless they're attacked first. No one really knows where they came from.
He attacked us.
There are theories. Oh, they only attack if they're provoked. That's how the story goes. But we don't really have a proper number of them. But there's a few. There's a few. There's definitely, at least more than 3 or 4. So
Does the name Hrugguhl mean anything?
not really, no. So I'm actually surprised that you've got a name. That's the first time I've heard a name for any of these things. But
That's interesting in itself.
these things are, as most rumors are, quite difficult to pin real information on. But what I do know is over in Kampf, which is the city in North Bran.
How's that
Yes,
spelled?
the city of Canf. There's supposedly somebody over there who's researching them, but I don't know who. I don't really know where as much. But all I know is they're in the city of North Bran.
Don't know much, do you?
It's a rumor. We don't check every single rumor that's out there. So, but that's all. At least that's all I've got for you in terms of that. But if you want to pursue it, that's your option.
I assume someone's taking
But,
notes.
I hope someone's taking notes.
My hands are.
Well,
are full.
I have made a journal entry for you
Thank you.
for them, so you can obviously put it all in there. I'll leave you with your business, but before you guys go to bed, come meet me at the front desk. Waiting for any kind of acknowledgement from anybody from them.
See,
Okay. And then she'll. Oh, if he does anything, just let me know. And then she'll go out the room.
safe word. Sounds
Okay.
reasonable.
Sassafras.
Sassafras. Yeah, that's
Some
a
flesh, please.
we're not going to get him better than that, are we?
So yeah. And then obviously he'll turn to you all. Well, with that out the way, can I have the mask, please?
What's going to happen to this mask after we hand it over?
So the idea is it'll go back to Tracker HQ, where the fancy paintball up there, the ones, with a brain bigger than their head, will, or at least they like to think so, will inspect it, do their magical mumbo jumbo, to identify what's going on with it. What is it? Does it have ties to Navros and, Italian? Try and figure out a little bit more about it. Well, exactly. As we were talking about before, it seems like a very weird coincidence.
Yeah, get your best minds on this one.
That's the idea. I mean, Riordan's obviously personally invested. He wants to make sure that this is... knowing Riordan, he'll probably see to this investigation personally.
And we'll be updated on what they find. I'm watching for his reaction very carefully.
Oh, what? So, sorry, say that again.
And we'll be updated on what he finds, on what they find.
Yes. Because the idea is if there's more of these things, we would like you guys to go and get them.
Do I trust his answer?
I don't know. Do you have a reason not to trust his answer? Or do you
Yeah.
want to roll insight?
Given that
sucks.
they've historically
He's
been lying for
Dirty old
like...
man. He's a dirty old man, but he's not exactly... He doesn't lie as such. He's not...
You can't say
Well.
that with any kind of authority.
Fine. Do you want to
roll
roll on
insight
insight then?
Yeah, do you want
Yeah, I'll try.
to do it? I'll help you.
I think I was going to say I think Seb would be looking as well
Yeah.
independently.
We're all-
Less for
a
if he's
lot of
lying,
eyes.
more for if he's an intent of.
It's more what's he holding back right now? Like what's his
Yeah.
21.
Okay. Anyone else? What was that?
happy with that?
As far as you know, he seems to be giving everything that he knows, at least. I mean, he does seem to. That's, his voice is stable. It's not warbling. It's all flowing. There's no pauses. He's delivering.
Sure.
He's saying this with confidence because that's, most likely what he's been told. And as you've kind of seen previously, like him and Riordan seem to have like this weird, like friendship rapport thing going on. Like his relationship with Goldbrick, like Riordan's relationship with Goldbrick, all like immediately feels different to like his and his assistant.
Hmm.
But again, you can take with that. Any other questions?
Are we you're like to share any findings with us, right?
Yeah, well, I already said yes. We would do, because again, if you're gonna ask you to get the others, it makes more sense if we're all on the same page. You're not gonna be as successful if we're hiding things from you. Hence why we told you the truth about Navros to begin with.
Any other like deep dark secrets of the realm that need to be shared?
I'm actually scared of the dark.
What is this?
It's okay,
wait,
buddy.
wait. What?
You can curl up at the foot of my bed if you need to. Keep you safe.
We keep an eye
We'll
on
make-
it. If you want.
We'll make a light everywhere we go. Don't worry.
Are we not talking about them kind of secrets? No?
No.
Okay.
So this is
Uh, Keep going if you've got more, buddy.
maybe when we're alone and maybe without Goldberg. So it is a team.
But I mean, I don't think so. Well, I mean, what about?
I know you say
I know.
make
It's
sure
like,
we're
I've been living-
aligned.
I've lived for a long time, so if there's something you want to know, then just ask.
Yeah, but what if we don't know what we need to know?
Well, that's a
Well,
very
we don't know
difficult thing to
Well, we don't know
answer.
what we're asking for.
I didn't write an autobiography. I can't just sit here and tell you everything that I know about everything.
You're the one that told us that there was a deep dark secret of the realm. We're just asking, are there any more deep dark secrets of the realm that we need to know of? If we're saying we need to know everything so that we can have to solve everything, so we can actually be the most prepared team.
I mean, sure, but none of it's really important. So, like for example, it was you remember the Overlords, right?
Sure.
Well, it was the head honcho of the Overlords that summoned Navros in the first place. And he was like trying to take him over and absorb him, but that didn't really work out for him. And so on and so forth. So again, it's stuff like that, but it's not really all that interesting. It's not really relevant to what you're doing.
How
Well,
do you know that?
That's a really good point. If these masks are taking over these creatures,
Right.
once you have figured out if the mask is something that can be touched, would it be possible for us to get it back to identify it ourselves?
Sure. I mean, I would have thought so, yes. Because if they are some kind of tool or useful thing, it would make sense for them to be in your possession. Who knows? Again, we just don't know enough. They might, I don't know, resonate with each other and it'll tell you where the other one is. I don't know. You're asking me for things that you haven't even given me the mask yet.
Well, we're the resident experts in this. Maybe we should be working with your mages on it. Why should we trust it to you?
If you want to, I mean, if you really want to, we can take you out of the team and you can go to HQ and investigate this. We'll probably have to replace you.
Well, not
but
all
sure.
of us. I mean, just a short sidebar.
I don't.
Wait, I'm no expert on whatever that doohickey does.
We've seen it in action. Seems like no one else has.
We'll discuss it later.
But we're not meant to let anyone else know about it being in action.
I'll be honest. I mean, if you want to, you can. They're pretty good. I mean, these guys reverse engineered the Gaff equation. Like, these guys are smart. If there's anyone who's going to figure it out, it's these guys. I mean, all these magical items that are in the shops, who do you think made those? They don't find them. They make them. If anyone's going to know this stuff, it's going to be them. And as long as you tell us everything from your encounter, well, that's even better, isn't it? But if you are going to go, I would only advise one. Just because otherwise you're going to be more of a hindrance, most likely.
I have one more question.
Right.
Did you know this Talion? And did you know if he had any weaknesses?
Flair for the dramatic, it would seem.
I do, yes, I do know of Talion. He was very dramatic, very theatrical, not very good at hearing, but he tried to be very sneaky. I remember he was trying to listen in to his teammates' conversations and got a bit of the wrong end of the stick. But that was quite funny. But no, he was very arrogance was his main thing. So, from what I know, he was a bit of a prick. I didn't really listen to him all that much.
That's actually surprisingly useful information.
Do you think that he is in control now? At all?
That's really hard to say, isn't it? I mean, technically, you guys would probably... Well, I don't know.
From what we've said.
From what you've said, I don't know. Talion was always a bit of a... It's hard to know whether Talion would be the kind of person who would just like work with Navros. It seems a bit weird. He'd more want the power for himself. But if one of the overlords couldn't control it, I don't really think. And he had, years and years and God knows how long preparation. I don't really think Talion's gonna fare any better.
Did you know anything about Talion that, say, he is possessed or anything, could perhaps reach him?
I'm gonna have to see if he remembers this, because this is gonna be some.
Did he talk to us in our dream? Do we remember?
Yes, he did. Talion did talk to you in your dream. He was like,
But because we don't know him, there'd be no way of us knowing if he was lucid or possessed, would we?
no, exactly. And this is the thing, right? Like, I think he said something along the lines of like, interesting. If you're here, then he's must be doing some meddling or something.
That sounds like him. Oh, I see.
I think he lost someone, but I can't really remember. Tally used to talk a lot. I kind of drowned most of it out.
Yeah, I know the type.
Question to the group, because I've completely forgotten. After we had the chat about the person visiting us after our dream / nightmare / visit, did we get his name?
We told Reardon about it, and he said it's like the Aramil.
Right.
And do you have any idea on how we may contact, message, somehow communicate with an individual only known to us as Aramil?
So obviously, you saying that name, Goldbrick's whole demeanor just shifts. Like he just slumps. Like he's obviously generally quite a cheerful guy, but this one is he's kind of he's just slumped a little bit. Like he's just dropped. Oh no! I tell you, if you ever figure out, then let me know. But trust me, if I did, I'd probably be one of the first people to talk to him.
He was dear to you then?
Very.
Do you have any idea why he would come back and not involve himself?
I don't know. When he left, he seemed to think he was on some grand adventure. I don't know. He didn't really understand again what he was talking about, but I would like to think if he came back, it was for some kind of reason. What that reason is, I guess only Aramil will know. Wish he would have told me, though. I'd have helped him.
I am all out of questions, but it is good
Okay.
to know that you are earnest in talking to us.
Well, again, I'm your guild master. You're my guild members. We are in this together. There's no benefit in hiding anything.
Everything in me wants to insight that.
What of the babies? Do we bring that up? In case we get in that
well,
kind of
you-
situation
You
again?
already kind of did.
You kind of did, but then you didn't. You
Oh,
kind of brushed
what?
over it because they were taken.
Like talk about the
Yes,
actual
we've not
logistics.
well, we've not talked about the creature and how it died and things, or any like that yet.
Should we huddle real quick?
I think we said it was best that we didn't talk.
Yeah.
Well, we said we could talk about the babies, but we don't talk about us potentially.
Yeah, so
doing
we
anything
had.
to them.
But if we find ourselves in that situation again,
We wouldn't trust his answer anyway.
I suppose you're right.
Yeah.
But
We could talk about the babies and because even though we might have intended to take them ourselves and
We don't have to say
raise
that.
them, exactly right. All we could do was just stating facts, right? That so I'm happy
That
to
Reed
just
Bird
state the
decided to
facts.
take the babies.
Yeah, I think maybe
Yeah.
we come at it at the angle of collateral damage. How does the guild assume to take responsibility for the what would you call it, the folks caught in the crossfire of their contracts?
Probably something they don't really address.
Do we have insurance?
Exactly.
If it's-
So
If it were considering that they were so taking on their mindset, because it's corrupted, they're corrupted. They generally take it on the good. We could bring it back to us for training,
or research. Yeah, that's a fate worse than
research,
death.
or kill it yourself, or
Yeah.
it's.
I
Up
don't
to
think they'll
you
do
then.
how they'll have a daycare program set up for.
No.
the little-
Yeah.
Oh
I
my
think
Maybe
they
God,
should.
monsters
Maybe this should be a
daycare, that's
non-negotiable
so
for us.
cute.
Yeah. We start a monster ranch.
Look,
So
they don't have the Pokemon Center where we could just leave
can-
them and then they can grind to level
Yeah,
100.
Epilogue.
yeah,
Epilogue.
you can-
Corrupted animal farm where we just raise them. and
Rehabilitation, yeah.
Rehabilitation.
Yeah.
100%.
Well,
I
they can
love
still
that.
research them. They just don't have to torture them to death while they do it, right?
Mm,
Yeah, that's a we can fight that fight again if we do come across. a similar
Conversation for another day.
situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Politics.
All right. Okay. Goldbrick. So we fought the bird. The bolas were wonderful. Very well.
I mean, it's your idea, so
Very,
you know.
very. Thank to you guys for putting them together, Toot Sweet, because they were phenomenal. And no doubt we probably at least one of us would have died if we didn't have them with us. So we managed to kill the thing, and the mask disintegrated the bird
How did you know the
after it died.
what made you think the mask did it?
Well, the mask was glowing,
The leg survived.
and then the
I
leg.
had the legs sort of like dual swords on the
Yeah,
back at the
these-
moment.
These legs. These
Yeah.
legs.
Yeah, the leg.
They just not disintegrate? Like, why did those survive?
We severed them.
They were severed. Yep.
Yeah.
Them already.
They were no longer attached to the body.
When it
Before
died,
or
correct?
after?
When
After.
Before,
Before.
it or after?
Before it died.
before it died.
Okay, interesting.
We tried to
Interesting.
pull it off. It did this, and I pull out the grapple hook.
Wow. So it was really on there.
Yep.
See,
Yeah, and all our combined strength could not tear that thing off. Which
And he even
is,
looks at he looked at Thordas when he kind of goes, "Wow,
it,
Yeah,
it broke my shield too, right?
yes, your
My-
non-magical."
My non-magical
snapped
shield
it
was
off."
broken. Yeah. We
so
didn't
yeah,
try
the-
with a magical weapon.
Yeah, we didn't
We
try.
didn't have magical weapon. The only thing magical was your shield.
Yeah,
We didn't wanna risk it.
we didn't want to risk it.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, that's
Yeah.
all definitely going to be very helpful. Anything else?
Um,
Did it-
we've not touched it yet, but it gives vibes of wanting to be touched, and I don't think that's a good thing.
No. He'll put a thing to his thing. Saverin, we're going to need some kind of magical box thing, case thing, whatever, to put something in that's not cool. Yeah. All right.
Sebastian just puts
Also-
hands up. I was happy
Yeah.
to touch it, but everybody was like, "No, don't touch it."
Yeah,
Honestly-
holding
honestly-
Sebastian's head, stopping him from moving,
Mm,
forcing him
Honestly,
to the ground.
Considering what you're saying,
This is very demeaning.
that once it was on, it didn't come off, and it disintegrated the creature. Probably best not to touch it.
That would be more demeaning, Sebastian. A little bit's okay.
So,
We could talk about the
Uh,
bird guy. Probably, he was
Yeah.
probably loitering. Well, he waited. He could have killed that thing himself. You know, if he was.
He
shot, as
he
you guys
watched.
say.
He did watch from a distance. He watched us kill
We
it,
don't, we
and
don't
then.
know that, but it's a reasonable assumption.
He thinks we
Well,
did a
he
good
said you
job.
did a very
Certainly.
good job.
Oh
with
yes,
the-
absolutely. Sorry.
yeah.
Yeah.
So obviously, while you're sort of discussing that, Sabarin does come in
Hello.
to the room, and he brings this sort of like almost like a shoe, almost like a size of a shoebox, or a little bit more sort of square, and it's got sort of magical glyphs all over it, that sort of glow purple. Here you go, and he puts it on this sort of like a shelf unit here on top. There you go. That'll do it. Thank you. Thanks, Sabarin. You're welcome.
Thank you, Sabarin.
No problem. Anytime. Right, and he'll disappear. Yes, sir. So then Goldbrick will go, yes, sir. Can you kind of like dump it into there?
I'm sure we can figure it out.
Sure.
Get some tongs.
And then so we discovered that the creature had 3 offspring.
Right.
Which we weren't quite sure what to do with, but while we were debating, the Morgane guy came and took them. And I'm not sure what he's going to do with them, but it's probably bad.
Probably. I mean, your guess will be as good as mine, really. We don't really know much about him. Like I said, you're the first person to document this guy's name. I have no idea. I know
Are
it's bad.
we sure that the Dark Swordsmen are multiple people?
They've been seen in, well, from what I can see, they've been seen in different places. and they all seem to have this different, I don't know, skill set.
So has this
So,
one
like-
specifically been seen before but wasn't identified? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, yes.
And the others have
I
different
think-
physical
I think-
characteristics, like different race.
Well, you said this one cut with wind, right?
Yep.
So the
Two
other
swords.
ones, yeah, another one sort of had fire going on. Another one had lightning going on, so on and so forth. So whatever they are, they have, well, at the very least, different elemental properties, but we don't know what else is going on.
But you don't know anything about their races or...
Unfortunately, not. No. Again, if you go to this person in camp, maybe they'll be able to tell you more.
Yeah, what is our next motive?
I suppose we will have to look for another bounty.
Yeah.
I will do one other thing. I'm hoping I can remember the symbols on the mask.
Well, you've
with-
got it drawn or something, haven't you? Somewhere.
Yeah.
So you've
Yeah,
got that.
I was
Yeah,
just
we-
gonna. Sorry, I was gonna with Magia Facile prestidigitation. I'm just gonna mark. It's gonna last an hour, unfortunately, but I'm gonna magic mark the floor with the symbols, and just say,
These were on the back of the mask. Do you recognize them? Language? Anything?
No. How long's this here for?
You have an hour.
Well, I'll get Merrin to have a look. I don't want to keep bringing her up and down. I'll call her over in a minute. But I'll get her to have a look. She tends to know these things more than I do. But I'll see if she recognizes it. And then she can document it, send it up to Thingy, see if they know anything about it.
Well, they'll see it themselves shortly, no doubt.
Oh, that's very true. Yes, they will. They'll hopefully glean what this is, but it's nothing I recognize. I mean, I've known quite a lot of different people, different languages, different scripts. This is not any lettering system that I know of.
At least we know it is not likely a language.
Well, I mean, at least not a language that we know of.
That is true.
But there's supposed to be spells for that, isn't there?
Yes, see, I just don't know it right now.
You got a scroll
Ah. Not on me, no.
I
in the
do.
back.
No. No, I don't.
Can't blame
You'll have to
you,
try your
Sean.
luck. Try your luck at the Emporiums.
Right. We got. Right. Thank you, Goldberg. Let's get this mask in this box, and we'll pick out a bounty and have some sleep, shall we?
I assume you're going to sort of use Fade to put it in the box?
Well, we could just like finagle it, like.
Or figure it in. Yeah, that's fine. Either way, either way it's fine. You have no issues with it.
Hongs.
Oh, if you
We
had
need to get out
tongs, yeah.
some tongs. Absolutely, we need some tongs.
We're doing
Well,
this mask stuff. I want some tongs.
Yeah,
That's fair.
tong up, boys.
Well, you got mage hand and stuff like that, right?
I don't think any of us have mage
Oh.
hand.
I don't know if you can. I don't even know if you can. Any of you
I don't think
I
any of
think
us
I
can
can
learn
learn
it.
Don't think so.
Mage hand is
Well, it's
bard,
bards.
rogue, sorcerer,
Oh, I
warlock,
can learn it.
wizard. So bard can learn it. Okay.
Next Cantrip, boys.
Yeah. So where are you going to go? Are you going to go to sleep or are you going to go to Merrin?
Well, we go Marion and we pick out a bounty.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then Merrin also did ask us to meet her down at the front,
Yeah.
so it's probably to get our rewards as well.
You've already been given your rewards.
Oh, okay.
So
Sonny, I've got. Sorry, just a quick question. I've got a spell scroll level 1, but I don't think it's specifically of anything.
it's a spell scroll that's empty because you got
Yes,
it from
so-
that guy in the hole.
Yeah, so I'd need someone, or I could imbue it with a spell.
Yeah, you should in theory be able to get someone to make a thing out of it. Yeah.
Checking in.
Yeah. Oh, did I? Or did you? Or did it have a thing in there? I don't think it did have a thing.
No, it was. I'm pretty sure it was empty because one got blown up and the other one was empty.
Yeah, it was.
We
it was
presumed
Chromatic
that
Orb,
it
wasn't
was
Yeah.
some form of spell
It's
that.
chromatical. I think it was chromatical.
Yeah, because it was a perfect circle both ways.
Yeah,
So
I'm
it
trying to
seems
think
like
if,
it bounced
like-
his, how they're going to bounce back to him.
Just trying to see if.
No, I think it was.
No, that
used
spell.
up.
I think that spell scroll contains chromatic orb.
Oh, it contains chromatic.
Yeah, it contains chromatic orb. Because I don't think you ever sold that. I think you just have like a blank parchment. But yeah, you did have a spell that contained magical chromatic orb. That's probably what that one does. Because the other one I would have just described it as basically parchment, essentially. Okay, so you go back to Merrin.
Hey, Merrin.
Right. I thought I'd let you get that out the way before we did this next bit, but it looks like
Did we go up a tier?
you've gone up a rank again, which is quite nice. It's
It's a
quite
little
impressive.
concerning.
Well, you've kind of knocked these out in pretty quick succession.
But 2 bounties, 2 level 2. That's a little
I'll
bit.
be honest.
Question
Surrounded
it.
by amateurs.
Pretty
No,
item, please.
Idiots,
if you
all
want-
of them.
I mean, these guys aren't in our guild, so I can freely say this. Those two are lazy fuckers. Those two groups. So, I mean, even the next one above, they don't do a lot. They kind of go for the glory, as it were. Kind of pick one up when they feel that their popularity is dwindling.
Wow. That is terrible.
Oh, some people just become trackers for the fame.
Yes, why would they do such a thing?
Exactly.
Just for fame. Terrible.
So, at what point do you think is actually decent? A decent team.
I mean, the Steel Sirens are obviously great. I mean, Dusty Almanac, they kind of spend more time studying than necessarily doing, but they'll do a bounty if it's a creature that's interesting and so on and so forth. But yeah, other than that, they all kind of go at it after that. But yes, as you've ranked up, you get some more magic items. Would you like to do that? Do that now?
Sure.
Yes,
Okay.
while you are getting that, I'm just going to draw something out for you and ask you a question so you don't have to go back up to Goldberg soon.
Okay. So she does some things, and the white glyph with a C in it lights up. Who wants to do the honors?
Hrugguhl, why don't you go for it?
I stick my hand out.
Alrighty then, let's see. Shuffle. Okay. So, what you get, let's see, it looks like a cane has popped up. It looks like a bit like a walking cane. But the thing that comes with it says it's called a veteran's cane. Basically, as a bonus, as a bonus action, this thing can turn into a ordinary longsword and back again. So, and it transforms. It's not like there's a sword inside of it. It actually changes. And then when you take that, the glyph will go up again.
Oh,
Anyone else? Yeah, let's do this one. Who wants the last one?
go on, Agata. Go.
Smack it.
All right.
I really like the image
Interesting.
of Hrugguhl just putting a gentle hand out and then Agata's just like
Just smacks out of her hand,
Give
yeah.
us
Right. So this one, do I have an image for this? Because this is no. So you get a copper amulet containing tiny interlocking gears, powered by magic, so that you can hear faint ticking and whirring noises from inside. So you got this, like I say, you got this amulet, and what it says is that it's called a clockwork amulet. Basically, when you make an attack roll while wearing this amulet, you can ignore the d20 roll and act as if you rolled a 10.
Act as if you rolled a 10.
You can
Does-
do
and
that
then
once
does
per...
your strength bonus add on to that?
Yeah, everything else adds on top of that.
Everything adds on.
So,
Which is
what if-
handy if you roll a 1, especially. But
So yeah, for example, let's say you rolled a 1, it'll be 10 plus
plus whatever your proficiency
whatever
in.
you hit.
This is for go rolling, so it's
Yeah.
before rolling.
Probably. Oh yeah, it says a full go actually. So yeah, you
Oh,
just
so
don't.
you have to decide on it first. That could be useful
Yeah.
for your reckless attack, Thordas, no? How many uses does it have?
once per
day.
turn.
Once per day.
Once per dawn. I don't know.
It is a common magic item, so it's not going to be like too powerful. But
Maybe we could just sell this one. You might.
I don't know. It depends. If your modifier is decent,
Depends. And if we know the creature's AC, then it can just guarantee us a hit where we don't necessarily have one, and it would have been better than being well. It won't deal with disadvantage, will it?
Yes. Yeah, it'll overcome disadvantage.
Yeah,
it,
not
it,
rolling.
it
All
cancels
rolls
out
go over
disadvantage.
yeah,
Well,
Yeah,
you don't
because you
roll.
just get 10. You just get 10 no matter what.
That's
Yeah.
actually pretty nice. Well, who wants it then? This could be useful for any of our
it's not
attackers.
attunement.
Really.
Neither weapon is neither item is attunement, so anyone can.
I
have
got the
those.
last one, Thordas. You want it?
I mean, I don't mind. It depends if anyone else wants to use it.
Hrugguhl?
How about a trade? And I set it into a sword and place the handle towards you.
I just look back at my great sword. I don't want to sound rude, but I might be potentially selling that. I don't know yet.
No, I was speaking to Agata.
Agata.
yeah.
Don't need your charity. I'll just throw the amulet towards Hrugguhl.
I don't need to know either. And I throw the sword towards you.
Right.
Wait,
should we
is
roll
it in
roll
sword
for
form? You
clumsiness?
just throw the sword.
Handle first. I don't use
I
long swords.
am going to roll for whether Agata catches this because she was in her cups and probably still is a little bit based on the way she's been talking. So, what, dexterity?
Sure.
That's an 20.
Ooh.
Wasting
Not
my
even looking, you just
catch
grab
it in
it.
her teeth.
Did you? Yeah, sure. Alright.
Sorry, so what did you just give me? I wasn't paying attention earlier.
Veteran's cane.
Veteran's cane. It turns into
Veteran's
a
cane.
long sword, which is also magical, so it actually is useful for
Well,
you.
and I
That's
do
an
use long swords.
ordinary
Yeah,
long
thank
sword.
you.
It's
Ordinary
not
long
magical.
sword. It's not a
But
magical long sword.
it can be disguised as a cane.
Oh, does it not? Fair.
It specifically says ordinary longsword, so it's not a magical longsword.
Okay.
So, but yes, you can obviously disguise it as a cane. Not really going to help you all that much in your smith zones, but other than that, it can obviously prove quite. It would still.
Veteran's
would-
cane, you say?
But obviously, if you go into a smith zone, it will know that you know that it's a weapon, so it would end up phasing out. All right.
Cool. Thank you.
No problem. Oh, and obviously, you going up, your salary will go up as well. So instead of 20 gold a week, you're going to get 35.
Each?
No,
Root.
No.
Every single time we get
Every time.
promoted.
every
Each?
time. Yeah.
They're going to say it once. Yes.
Yeah. can
Really? No.
imagine. No. Merrin doesn't have that kind of sense of humor. I think if you join maybe a different guild, you might have got that, but no.
Merrin will just start recalculating and telling us as each. To stop us asking.
Well, what she might do next time, she'll tell you what the each number is.
That'll make it feel even bad.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if you want to just sleep, or do you want to pick up the next bounty now, or what do you want to do, or just have a look?
Bounty, then
Yeah, well,
sleep, and then
let's
they
take
can
a
get
look.
back to
Let's
us
take a
on the
look.
new
Yeah,
intel,
let's
right?
take a
On the mask and that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
let's
mean,
take a look on the board.
I reckon it'll
Yeah,
take him a
we
few,
can have a
like
look.
I don't know how long it's going to take him, but I'm sure only a matter of days, and then we'll let you know. Right, bounty board.
Bounty board.
Is this like to change by tomorrow, or do you reckon it's going to stay as it is?
You never know with these things, but I mean, you should probably be all right. I'd have thought. So yeah, these are the ones you've got: rain check, poor quality control, and you can't handle the tooth.
Ugh. Would you talk them through for us, Sonny, please?
Yep. So I imagine you're going to sort of ask her for what he's about. So with rain check, hang on. The woman was basically just chilling outdoors, and basically she saw a lightning bolt become corrupted.
Cool.
It turns into some
Oh no.
person humanoid shape thing, but she didn't really get that good look because they basically got out of there pretty quickly. But yes, we've basically got this corrupted lightning bolt apparently.
I just look at
Running
my
around.
javelin and look sad.
Yep. Poor quality control. Now this one's a bit of a sad story. basically this baker made a cake, and little did he know the cake became corrupted overnight, and the function that cake was built for kind of ate the guests.
Mimic
so,
cake.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't really know what happened to him after that. He didn't really specify, but yeah. And then you can't handle the tooth. Oh, I suppose this one's probably the more sad one. So there's this orphanage, and apparently someone's stealing their teeth. Like not like out of their mouths, but the kids where their teeth falls out, right?
Yeah.
Someone's
Tooth fairy.
someone's stealing their teeth.
So we get lightning monster, tooth fairy, or the mimic cake. Brilliant.
I guess you could say the cake is a lie.
Ugh.
Yeah. Yeah. Well.
We're not doing that one.
No,
Yeah, obviously, the prices on here vary quite wildly because obviously the cake guy probably can't afford much.
Oh man, but the lightning one is pretty lucrative.
Yeah, obviously, if you want to go for the highest price one, then you can do, but
I mean,
Yeah.
the two South Valley are similar
fortunately,
distance.
they're all on Veli, which is quite handy.
May as well be paid more.
Yeah, but doing
To be
charity
fair,
work for an orphanage.
I mean, you're
really
going
fucking
to
good.
earn more in a week than any of these things are going to pay you anyway. So
Where is thingy? And can we have more places in South Valley?
yes, yes. I keep forgetting that. Yeah. Alright. So Natilo, which I think was one of them, right?
Yeah, Natilo was the tooth one.
Let me wait for you to transfer over. So if one of them's Khan, which you obviously know where Khan is, which is handy because you've obviously got to teleport straight there.
That's expensive though.
It's expensive though.
Well,
It's expensive.
we could put in a request. They
It
covered
will
us before,
cost.
didn't they?
It
No, I
I
costs
don't think
more.
we'll be able to get a request for this one.
It'll cost more to get there by teleport than it would to
Pay us.
than it
Travel
pays
there
out.
So let me just do that again. So Khan, which one was Khan? Khan was the
baker.
Khan
cake.
was
The cake.
the baker.
Okay.
Khan was the
Yeah.
cake.
Natilo is the tooth one. So
Mhm.
that's here. And then what was the other one? Ravan.
Mhm.
And Ravan is down here.
Mi amigos, you must remember, it will look very good on us to help orphans loosen their teeth.
There's no question to this one, boys.
Can we do like one after the other?
Can we
We
take
can only
both?
take one at a time. That has already been discussed.
Because like, let's be real. Like, we're gonna have to travel south, and we might as well. Karn is on the way.
Yeah, but it'll mean we have to go to Khan to go
Sorry.
back to come back down.
No. We don't. No. We can pick up bounties on the road.
Yeah, you can go
Oh.
to the Trackers Emporiums and pick up bounties from there.
But
There's
that
only- we
won't
only
be
have to
the
come back
chances
here
someone
for the
else will
mask.
pick up this bounty.
True, but if we have to go past it anyway. We're actually having to go past a place. Like, let's be real. We're not gonna teleport anywhere. We're gonna have to get
Agreed.
horse and cart again. So we're gonna travel past it. We might as well just do the bounty while we're down there, parsing it.
Though by
And
the
then-
time we get there, those other two might well be gone.
We
Yeah,
can't
but then
take two
we'll
bounties
be
at
we'll
once,
be
can we?
placed we'll be placed to do another bounty then. We'll be in the middle to go up or down. Like if it's gone, I mean someone's done it, which is good. Like we don't need to be greedy and have to fight for every tooth and nail for every bounty. Like
I see what you
there's
did
other
there.
people. there's other people around doing stuff. So
How big was this cake?
I don't know. You have to ask the person, I guess.
We are
Turns
not
out it
doing
was
the
a wedding
cake.
for giants, and it was
Yeah,
a
but the
giant
cake's on the way.
cake.
He has a
We cannot
point.
take two bounties at a time.
No, that's what I'm saying is that we can take the cake bounty,
And eat it too.
and then if it's
You're
and if
overreaching,
it's
friend.
still- and if it's still there, and if the tooth one or the lightning one is still there afterwards,
We can go down.
We can keep going south. But if
If the
we have
tooth
to
one
go
has been
past
taken
Karn,
by another group, that group looks better for saving
Yes.
orphans from some corruption.
Absolutely. Optics is everything, especially for
As
people like
PR
us.
manager,
the cake one, the guy just lost his whole family. He's responsible for deaths of what,
One family.
10, 20
Those
people.
orphans could grow up to have hundreds of
That-
children.
Retribution is a good story to tell as well.
what I am telling you right now is, if we take the
And-
cake one and we lose the tooth one, reputation-wise, we are far worse off than if we take the
There's
tooth one
gonna be more bounties.
and lose the cake one.
There's gonna
What
be more
I'm s-
bounties.
But
the
all the
future.
decisions we make now will be reflected
We gotta go
But
in
past
the
it.
public opinion of us.
And
No,
what if,
no one's
told.
gonna
if
judge
we,
us.
if we entrust the cake family is already dead, those orphans are still alive. Do you really trust another team to do the job right? Would you not
Yes.
enjoy the opportunity to make amends for failing younglings in the past? I certainly would.
Hear me out. With us building our own legends, it will be funny for them to hear that we went against our gigantic bird that could easily kill anyone to go against a cake. That will be pretty funny in the story. We need a funny moment in the story.
That's true. And there's no telling the tooth bounty might still be around. Look, there might be a better story after if the tooth bounty is taken. You don't know that.
Conjecture.
And technically, we are going to be fighting for teeth because we're going to be fighting people that have a sweet tooth.
It's not about the teeth. Can we go back to the bounty board, please?
Yes, of course. Activate that one.
Let's vote.
I'm going with the cake. I think it's on the way. It'll be great. Although I can't. Oh
Let's
no.
get a cake illustration on there.
Look,
I think it's
If
on
the
the
cake-
way.
if the cake has already killed that many people, someone else from our bounty can pick it up. The damage is already done.
We're literally going past it.
But if we take the cake and the
like-
tooth one is gone, then we are worse
There's gotta
off.
be more. There's gotta be more bounties.
There's gonna
It's
be
like,
more
look,
cakes.
let's break it down, right? It's gonna look worse for people to hear that we walked past a town that had an open bounty to say, "Oh, we ignored one because it wasn't paying very
So say,
well."
go
We
help the
ignored
children.
one because they're alive
To-
children. We,
We,
can
ig-
help
we
rather than
ignored one to
avenging
help
dead
children,
family.
not to get better paid.
It's a pretty righteous
But there's-
cause.
Who knows that cake could be eating children.
Listen, we
You
don't
don't know.
We don't know. We go by the intel we get.
It's on the way. It could still be there afterwards. We get double bubble.
Listen,
There could be another bounty on the way.
the chances of someone else taking this while we are walking our way to Khan is very high. It will take us time to get to Khan.
And the other teams at
It's
our
gonna
level
take
are
even
crap as
further
well, right?
to get to Natilo.
But we
It's gonna
can
get
lock.
longer.
Yes, and we can lock in Natilo, so we don't lose it.
But okay. If by your logic, we could, by the time it takes us to get to Karn, someone else could have solved it. So we're prolonging the pain of someone else's suffering by taking this bounty for ourselves, denying someone else from taking it to save them sooner. Surely we should be wanting that to happen. Someone else sweeping in and saving them as soon as possible. We can't get there any faster. We
Not
can't
if we're
teleport
talking
there.
optics, and not if we're talking other teams doing a shit job, which they will.
If we are try-
This was given to us as this guild. I'm not sure if there's going to be any other guilds that will have this exact same bounty.
But there are-
They're presented everywhere.
Oh, okay.
And the other teams around our rank are, as you've confirmed, shit.
Generally, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll probably be looking at more sort of maybe high-profile ones,
The reward.
probably, or there's like because they do control somewhat who sees what. Because again, as I sort of, to be fair, I explained it a long time ago, but some people pay sort of more so that only like the higher rank ones get to see it. So, yeah,
Mm.
basically.
I mean, obviously, me as a player, the cake one sounds more like fun. However, you can't handle
Yeah,
the tooth is the best
OC,
one on the
the
board.
cake one sounds like great fun.
And
Yeah, absolutely.
I see Agata is not budging on this, so
Yeah,
I'm going to leave my
see
vote there,
100%
and I'm going
Sebastian's
to go
100% on the teeth.
But here's the
100%
thing.
on the
This
teeth.
is what
Don't
we should
resolve the
have
vote
done,
until
is
I'm
that we
back.
can't be everywhere at once. Yes, there might be something closer, but is that going to be the thing where it's like, oh, why did you go from R1 then? Oh, it's because you were closest.
Mm,
Where did you go
also
past
bad
it?
optics.
We're probably going to be past 20 other bounties that we don't know about.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
the thing is,
we
the
don't want an
minute,
opportunity.
but the minute we go out the door, any bounty could turn up, and any bounty could also go. Like the minute we leave. So the minute, unless we pick it and lock it down, this whole board is meaningless.
I would,
raise
yeah,
a-
I mean, I would generally advise, like, pick the one you want to do the most, because even if you're at a level where you're going to do multiple bounties, I'm going to have another team pick at least one,
Yeah.
right? So, and obviously, if we're under, you can kind of metagame this in a way. If you think about, well, how many bounties do you think you need to do until you next
Yeah.
level up? And that will kind of give you a rough idea on whether those other bounties are going to be there when you've done this one.
I would
Also-
think, out of character, I think if we were starting at level 3, I would say go to the closest bounty just so we can get some XP quickly. I think with this one being a chance of potentially leveling up, I think I would prefer to do something a bit more
Excessive.
quote-unquote heroic than go and kill a cake. Congrats, you're now level 3.
Let's go save some orphans, man.
There might be orphans to save from the cake. You don't know.
Listen, the cake is making orphans, alright? We're gonna save some orphans.
Exactly. We're preventing orphans. Isn't that a good thing?
Look, we're
Astra,
going to be going to the
make
orphanage,
an
and they're going to be
excellent
giving you better business now because of the cake, alright? Let the
But I'm
cake do
afraid
its
you're
business while
being
we do our
outvoted
business.
here, Astra.
I'm
I'm
not just saying it's on the way.
just going to put this out to Astra as well. We're just going to be like,
Astra, if you think of it this way, if we go to Medillo specifically, then when we get there, if only one of these other bounties are taken up, we will be at the perfect location to pick either one.
It's probably best we go there, and then if someone else takes the lightning and the cake is still there, we can go to the cake, and then we'll have a shorter journey back. It's
Or
always
someone
better to
takes the
take the
cake and we
longer
will
journey.
be closer to the river.
Wouldn't we like to feel like we've done something heroic for once?
Yes,
I
I would
would-
like to feel like it
isn't
doesn't
any
heroic.
bounty heroic?
No, because the
The
first one
first
we
one,
pretty much got Vietnam flashbacks towards a widow. A second one we lost kids.
That's still
To
good.
a
Feel
bird.
just
Still
heroic.
I
good
want to say some
service.
fucking kids.
They still did a good
We
service.
have a moral
That was
obligation.
safe.
You're being outvoted, Astra, I'm afraid.
Sounds
look,
unanimous.
That's not what unanimous me.
You have 10 more seconds
You
to
may-
argue your case.
Look, fine. We'll go to Natillo. I'm just saying, it's on the way.
We can.
You have a
It's
good
complete-
point.
It's illogical, guys. Please.
Okay. Astra, let me put this out to you.
Don't break the robot.
Does not compute.
Astra, let me put this out to you also. It is also on the way back.
Yes, the cake will still be there. It might even be bigger by that time.
The idea is that we largely stay out here, out on the land, or we pick up more bounties. We don't. There's nothing to go back to necessarily.
can,
Well, yeah,
can
we
we
have to
pick
go
up
back
bounties?
at some point because they're gonna
On the
tell
road,
us what's
yes.
wrong with the mask.
Yeah. That's the point. Like we pick up bounties on the road, so we might not be back to the guild for another month or two because we're doing other bounties and things. So it's like there's nothing to go back to unless we get called, most likely.
I would also like to put out, based on what I've seen of the ranking board and what I've now heard about the lazy people, it is very likely that they will not go for the cake one, just because it is so cheap compared to the lightning one.
But then does it sound easier because they're lazy?
That's a good point. Doesn't sound easier.
Fine,
Well, if it
fine,
sounds
fine.
easy and they take it, then the cake
Well,
is
let's
being
do-
saved and we can carry on.
Okay, we got two options. We can either pick it now, or we can sleep on it and see what happens in the morning.
Nothing's gonna change. Let's vote now.
Yeah, I'm going with Nadillo the Tooth.
Fine, let's do two.
Sorry,
But
Astra.
this is completely
But I'm with-
illogical.
I'm with Agata on this.
You're
When
gonna
have
need
we
to
ever
learn with
been
lapses in
logical?
logic, my friend.
When have we ever been logical?
Unfortunately,
Astra,
emotion will
feel
always
your
trump it.
roots. We are not here for logic.
We get your whys, but some of us headbutt a wall to pretty much try and figure out what the fuck's going on. You know to climb the wall, recharge on it.
All right then. So it sounds that you're going to take. You can't handle the tooth.
Yes, please, sir.
Okay, okie dokie. So she will register you for that then. Oh, at least you got there eventually. These
I can
ones
imagine
always get a
other
bit.
guildmates coming around and then hear us arguing about cake.
Like coming to blows over it.
You know what? It's not the weirdest thing I've heard. So, you know, yeah, every team faces these kind of arguments. Discussions, shall we say, when picking bounties. There's always different views on what's heroic. So, no, that's fine. At least you've got this one. Obviously, you can sleep on it and do what you need to. Oh, I don't think I mentioned this before, but if you've got anything you want to sell, you can sell that stuff to Sabarin.
Thank you.
Now, this is something I want to talk to you guys about. Obviously, we figured out the price of the javelin, which was, what, 600 gold?
Yowza.
Yeah,
then
half
half
the 300.
300.
Yeah,
Sounds
And we
about
found
right.
out to upgrade to a +1, it will
it's
cost
150.
150. Shall we sell the javelin to get 2 people +1 weapons, or do we keep the javelin?
Oh,
I think I'm in favour of selling, but it's your javelin, Thordas.
Thordas
Yes.
will want to do what's best for the party, so Thordas is happy to sell it if everyone agrees to sell it.
I don't think we have to sell it yet, right? It's not going to depreciate in value.
No, but we could start our weapons upgrading overnight.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, because there is a time on there. I'm pretty
And
sure.
I would like to create
yeah, we-
threaded cane.
Yeah, I think
So
we
then
should.
probably by the time we get there, we will have them ready.
+1 weapons are very advantageous, especially when it comes to resistances.
Yes, if I vote to sell.
So what's our weapon opportunities at the moment? We got two magical weapons.
You got
We-
one, which is just the javelin.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we've got the javelin,
javelin
and,
is
we can
only-
and we can sell that to make 2 magic.
We don't
can
have
make 2
magical
+1
weapons,
magic
but they have
weapons by selling
special
them.
properties.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So okay. So it'll be your greatsword, Thordas.
Agreed.
And Agata, your weapon, or was it Hrugguhl? You want one of your daggers?
Yeah, don't do me yet.
I could have one of my daggers.
One of your
That would
daggers or
help.
your bow?
Daggers.
Daggers, okay. So we can sell it and then get it, make it so it's a +1 greatsword and a +1 dagger.
Yeah.
We've got team funds, so we can do both your daggers.
Well, the javelin will.
Yeah, exactly. So the javelin will cover 2 weapons, and we can do another 150 to make
I
both
feel like in
daggers.
fairness that.
Do
are
we
you
want
sure
the team funds to be for travel, though?
We'll have enough for travel.
I feel like
Yeah,
in
'cause you're going to
fairness,
take
Agata-
because I imagine you're going to take a beeline straight to Khan, right? So
Yeah.
that is going to
Natillo.
be.
Yes.
Oh, Natillo. Sorry. Okay, hang on. Let me find out how long it's going to take you to get.
Well,
to
we're
we'll
not gonna
go.
have
We'll
that
already
discussion.
go. We'll already go to Tanaris
They want to go to Tanaris.
to pick up a horse and cart,
Yep. Good shout.
and then beeline to Natillo, basically.
Agata, are you sure you don't want anything upgrade?
What's the options?
Any of your weapons?
+1.
If there's one going out, ooh,
Does it have to be +1 weapons, or could we also do +1 armors?
You can do armor as well.
ooh, can I? Oh, the shield. What
Yeah,
about
but
the
that's a
shield
lot of
progression?
money.
Yeah,
The armor would be really expensive. Shield wouldn't be, but the armor would be.
Gold's armor.
Probably better for me to bump up the shield then. I want to start getting weird with my weapons once I can dual wield. For now, let's have +1 to the shield expression.
That would only cost you 20. for
How
the
about
shield,
+2?
because it's already 125.
What do you think?
Oh, actually, no.
plus 2
Sorry,
shield.
No, that's
I
not
can't
right.
be right.
that's all right. So it's 20 because it's a common magic item. So that would be 20 gold to make it uncommon, and to make an uncommon to +2 would be 1500. So
Yikes.
so
So we can make it
basically,
+1.
Yikes, indeed. Yeah, +1, please.
So we could do +1 and another weapon.
Yeah. Because realistically, if
Yeah.
we still have enough within
Yeah.
the funds for the horse travel, then we could potentially do 2 +1 weapons and the shield.
3 +1 weapons and a shield.
Yeah.
The jab.
Then
with the,
Yeah.
yeah, I'll put a +1 on the veteran's cane then.
I do that right.
Or would that be more expensive, seeing as it's wondrous?
No, it's
It's technically non-magical.
Mm-hmm.
no, it's a magic item.
No, I think I was right the first time. So your shield, your magic shield, because it's a common magic weapon, it'd be 20 gold to go to a +1, and then another 125 to make it a +2.
We don't want to make it a +2. Oh wait, but if it's 150
So it'd be
total to make it
140
+2.
So 145 would then basically make it a +2. But
Yeah.
crafting time is going to be a big factor here. You're already adding quite a lot because it's 1 day basically per upgrade at this point.
Yeah.
So you're already talking about Thordas' sword and
That's
2
one
daggers.
day.
That's 3 days.
Yeah, but
Oh,
And then
really?
at that point in time, Thordas will not have any melee weapons on him. He'll just have
could
his
we?
I can
could we
lend you my
travel-
glaive,
I was
or
gonna
you
say,
could. I've
could
got
we
a
travel-
glaive and a longsword.
Because realistically, so Tanaris is about 2.5 days from here.
Yeah.
So you can, in theory, basically do 2 of them, and
Oh,
it will
shit,
wait for
yeah.
you in Tanaris for you know.
They'll wait for us to know. Well, then why don't we just
Yeah, so-
send everything and then we can get them when we're ready?
How long would it take the
different weapons I
shield?
can use.
How long would it take for the shield to upgrade to +2?
1 day. 1 day.
Sure, so we'll do the shield to +2, one of my daggers to +2, and your sword to
Well,
+2.
sorry, it's 1 day to do it to the to
So,
+1.
+1.
It'll be another 2 days to do it to a +2 for the shield. So it's 3
Really?
days if you want to do it to
Sure.
+2.
That's fine. I don't need it.
Sure, okay. So yes, we'll do the shield to
That's
+2, Thordas' longsword, and Thordas' weapon and my dagger, 1 dagger.
We need to walk to Tanaris without getting into trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah. Keep yourself
I've-
very open.
Well, no,
I've got other weapons, and we can
Better
lend
off without
Thordas
it.
something.
And then
so
yeah,
that
I
means
could be lent
it'll give
a
+4
longsword.
to AC once it's done.
You can use the cane until.
Yeah.
So you're
Use the
going.
cane.
So you're going
Well,
to.
I've got
do-
my old longsword, which you can have. The cane is unfortunately mine.
Yeah, I wouldn't take the cane from you. So yeah,
You
I'll
can borrow my
take-
glaive,
this?
100%.
So you're doing both your
That'd be
daggers.
cool.
No, we're
No,
doing 1 dagger.
One dagger.
1 dagger.
one dagger.
So 1 dagger plus the shield to 1, and then plus the shield to 2.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got
And
plus.
Thordas'
plus
And
the
plus
great
1
sword.
to the great sword.
plus the great sword for to
Okay,
+1.
so 1 dagger, 1 great sword,
Mhm.
Yeah.
the shield to +2. The
Yes.
shield expression. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that's going to cost you. So obviously, assuming you're selling the javelin,
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
that's going to cost you 145 gold.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's going to take in total 1,
5
2,
days.
3, 4, 5 days to get everything. Now, what I'll do is I'll let you pick the order as well, so you can decide what order things are going to be built in, because that could be a factor.
Right,
Great
page.
sword,
The money.
dagger, shield.
Yeah.
So, great sword, dagger, shield. Okay.
Yep.
Yep.
And then
so, yeah,
shield
you
again.
can- Yeah. Well, yeah. So yeah, that what's it called? Diamond Anvil will sort all of that out.
Mhm.
So if you're happy to do that, you can pay the money, and you'll
Can
you'll
he,
give her
can we
your
also
item.
fix my grapple hook thing?
Sure, she'll throw that in. Yeah. Why not? Because it's not going to take her very long. She'll just literally bash it into place, heat it up,
Yeah.
and bash it back into place. She can do that while she's waiting for the stuff in the forge. That's fine. Yeah, you can do all of that. So just
Brilliant.
Okay, so in total, so 150 comes to plus 145 for the,
Yeah.
so 445 gold in
It's
total.
just 145 once we sell the.
it's 145 if you're
Double.
going to sell your
Yeah, so 145 gold, yeah.
Yeah. So just
Yeah,
take that
that's
away from the
paid.
guild funds, and then you'll be all right.
Well done.
Brilliant.
Okay.
And we'll rest up tonight.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, you will. Is there anything else anyone wanted to do for the evening?
I'm brewing. When I say brewing, I've bought spirits, and I'm gonna chuck raspberries and a pork chop in there. Let them really wrangle up.
Yeah,
This isn't moonshine I'm creating. These are just This is some real rancid stuff. I've got to be honest, but it's going in the barrel. Infusion, certainly, yes. A pork chop and raspberry infused. Obviously, we wrap the pork chop in a terry cloth. Terry cloth first.
Yes, I think you've used like this room, haven't you, for your concoctions, right? I assume.
Yeah.
Where are you looking?
Oh,
So
you
let me
probably can't.
show the good folks at home.
This one.
This one.
Yeah, I mean it's got all plants and shit in it, so. But yeah.
Plants and that. I'd rather a bathtub, but
You don't really have any of that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's right.
because this was just where all your stuff is, basically.
Yeah.
Oh, is this where you're going to put your chicken legs in
Yeah,
your
yeah,
trophy
yeah.
room kind of
At
thing?
least one, surely.
Yeah.
How do we preserve them so that they're don't go bad?
Okay,
You
maybe
could ask
like
Sabrin
wizard
for
fridge?
some salt or whatever.
is the talon like at the end? Do we think like cut off that part and then sell the rest,
Or eat it?
or eat the rest?
I will advise. Oh no, yeah, no, you could do. Obviously, you always have to be careful with eating corrupted food. Like Thordas has kind of delivered, like they built up a tolerance to it, but some of the rest of you might not have.
Yeah, Hruggl's not going to touch that.
But that being said, you will, if you ask Merrin about what to do with like the meat parts, she will point out that all the settlements have butchers. So what you can do is sell your meat to those butchers, and they'll take them off your hands for you.
Might be a good shout.
I got a steak to sell.
I definitely
I
want
mean,
to
it's
try it.
usually like raw meat, like raw animal bits,
Okay.
like the leg.
Then no.
They're not going to sell. They're not going to buy like already cooked meat. That's not,
So that was 2 pork chops and 1 handful of raspberries, I believe it was. Going in with how much spirits? I've got 17 units of spirits.
It's quite a lot. That's quite a lot.
Should we just go 3 for what I'm infusing?
Yeah, I think you don't need that much for this, right?
Yeah.
So,
And these are like distilled spirits. This is like the cheapest swill you can
but
possibly
I think we
find.
said it would take like a week, I think, to do what it needs to.
Yep, sounds good.
Or pretty much whenever you next come back here, really, it'll
Yeah.
probably be done. So just write that down that you've done
Working
that.
on it.
So yeah, Thordas would pretty much cut it off specifically to the points of the talon. He'll make sure to try and keep as much meat as possible. Then he'll put the meats of the legs in the sort of the personal chest thing. So when we get to the next location, he could take it out and take it to the butcher.
Not taking the butchers? Cool. Not a problem. All right, then.
Hruggle will spend the evening trying to wood carve something that looks a lot like Faye, the owl. I mean, he wants to make sure that Astra doesn't see him doing it.
I mean, Astra sees everything, right? It's...
But I won't do it in the same room.
Oh, okay. Fine. Find yourself a little dark corner, like over here or something, or like here, just completely out of sight.
I'll be watching Agata do her cooking.
There's a real,
Okay, so
while doing it.
there's a real technique to it. She says that she just like rams raspberries and she's like just stuffing pork chop into like a strange small cloth. She's like sniffing it and biting into it. You gotta release the juices, you see, into the mix.
oh, good thing Sebastian's not there. He'd probably be sick. All right. Yeah, if that's everything, you can press the long rest button.
Cool.
So,
Did we want to share any more secrets while we have downtime? All
Yeah, you
in
Just
bed.
literally just thinking before we go to bed. shall we?
Sebastian's like, guys.
Thordas is already in bed and he's just facing away from everyone.
Thordas,
It's okay, Thordas, we'll keep the torch lit.
No, I don't need the light on. I'm a big boy. I can handle light. I can be dark light thing. Shiny.
It kind of does make sense as well, because obviously Thordas was from a volcano, right? So all that sort of lava would like naturally illuminate.
Had a
So
natural
like him
night
sleeping
light.
in actual like straight up darkness is probably something he's like never done.
And then we've been outside most of the time, so he has the stars, he has the moon, that's lights, everything.
Yeah.
Unequip the shield of expression.
Right. So let's add time to your thing. 1, 2.
I just feel like, you know,
Enemies
so my
get
magic
a long
mark
rest.
makes a glowing. What was it? Small mark. Oh no, it's not glowing. What can I do?
I've got a candle.
My-
I'll just light a candle.
Oh well, if you put a candle down, I'll use magic of seal just to light it.
Nice.
And then we'll just be like, there you go, Thordas.
It is technically on a Monday, so you get to add 35 gold to your thing.
Huzzah.
So,
Almost paid
Get
for
paid.
itself.
and then you are in the next morning.
So we add that to our bank.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
What else do I need to do? Just add the cane to my. Don't need. I'll use the glaive for the time being.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I'll quickly add your old longsword to mine.
I'm two-handing that. Is the glaive versatile?
I think you made it versatile. Because you made it a custom weapon, right?
We made it a custom weapon. We removed two-handed and heavy from it. That's why I've written down.
I think no. So yeah, we didn't put versatile on it. No.
Versatile would be a
So you-
separate thing. So
Yeah,
it
that'd
would
be a
actually
separate
be
thing.
better for me to use the sword right now, because that would be 1d10 if I'm two-handing it. Yeah.
And you have to go to a very specific mastersmith if you wanted to do that as
If I
well.
wanted to get versatile on it.
Yeah, would have to go back to that
I
location.
think it was Velkovi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Second. So
I'll let you
now,
borrow
so I
a
do
couple
need
of
to
my
add the
throwing
veteran's cane.
daggers, Thordas.
You can take mine. I
And
don't
the-
use them.
Take the. I've got a spare longsword and a spare glaive. You can take either or both.
I'm taking a longsword. Daggers are too small for Thordas.
Well, you can. You dual wield, right?
No.
No.
You're capable
Great
of dual
sword.
wielding.
I'm capable of it,
But
but
they're not
Thordas
light-
will have no
not
idea
light
how to
weapons.
use it. He's only used big weapons.
Yeah. I'll give you my longsword then. Just it's
Yeah.
a regular longsword. It's got
Yeah,
sap.
that's fine. I probably won't train in it, so...
Yeah. I can teach you.
Well,
So
Thordas
you'd
can
have
teach
to
himself, but he's
charge.
not going to bother with it,
This
knowing
is how
that
you
he's going to
sap.
be getting his... knowing that he's going to be getting his weapon back soon.
On a long rest, can't you learn sap anyway?
Yeah, but as I said, I think Thordas will only prefer to train on with great weapons. He's
Alright.
happy to use the longsword
Alright,
for now.
sapping feels pretty good. That's all, my friend. Don't knock it till you try it.
Okay. So, is there anything you want to do or speak to anybody before you set off to Tanaris?
And we can kind of brush over this, but Sebastian's going to go to Merrin, point at the scroll, chromatic orb, and just be like, how do I use this?
I can't
You have
read.
to be you have to be kind of one of those classes that can cast it. I don't really know if you are one of them. Magic's not really my my thing. Are you one? You are not one of those things.
That's the secrets.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
definitely.
No,
I think you have to
sorcerer
learn- you have
with-
to
Love that,
technically-
man.
You have to technically learn it for it to be in your spell list for you then to be able to use the scroll.
or
because of the
we,
weird
or
way
we
it
could
works.
just sell it.
Or you could just sell it.
Do you know how much this kind of thing goes for?
About 37.5 gold.
Can I sell it for myself?
Yeah, you can sell it to Sabrin. So he'll give you 37 and gold and 5 silver.
And by the way, I've left the group to talk to
Yeah, you
Merrin
have.
about this because I'm 100% embarrassed at the fact that I don't know what this does.
Yeah. To be fair, it's a sorcerer and wizard spell, so you wouldn't have been able to do it anyway.
No.
It's kind of useless to your group. So, yeah, so 37 gold, 5 silver you'll get from that. So yeah, you can make your way to Tanaris. Like I said, it will take about 2.5 days to get there. I don't know if there's anything you want to necessarily do on the way.
Have a little sing song.
Yeah, we get a short rest.
Yeah, you get a short rest. You'll get 2 short rests along the way. So I don't know if you want to do anything with those.
Because I technically have to use a thingy to get pay, so I get it back after a short rest.
Fine. That's fine. So yeah, if you don't want to do anything, I will take you to Tanaris. So you would get there. So it's 2 days. So you'll get there on the 4th, on 4th of December, and you'll probably get there around, saying half a day, about 3 o'clock-ish, we'll say. So yeah, you enter Tanaris. So with Tanaris, it's very clear that this is a sort of port town, but it doesn't look like the port's active. But obviously that's from just where you are, obviously. So it's up to you what you want to do.
Port should be on the west coast, right? So is this map
It's
flipped?
technically turned around, so technically it's
Flipped,
upside
so
down.
I'm going to give us a northern upside down. So north is south and south is north and east is west and west is east.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let me annotate that just so we're clear. Thank you.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I should have probably just flipped it over, but I didn't.
No worries. You got a lot on
But I
the plate.
Yeah,
You can do that right now.
I could do it right now, but
So
Kind of.
let's lock in our badges.
Yes.
See.
yep. So
and
you
then-
can-
If our weapons have arrived.
Yeah, we
So-
can check in.
the
It'll probably be the
church.
best, but this will probably be the best point to split the party to get a bunch of stuff done quickly.
Yes. Could
Yeah,
do with
so
some
what we'll do-
potions.
Well, we all have to register first.
Yeah, after the
Yeah.
registration.
Yeah. So obviously, I mean, the handy thing with the church, it's always really obvious which building is the church. You don't normally have to go to the kiosk to find out the church. So you will find out that this church is an Argon church. Which you've never visited an Argon church
Seen
before.
one before. Oh, New World.
So you're going to enter the church.
Yes.
Alright, so this church, when you go in there, the thing that becomes very apparent very quickly is that the walls are just lined with books. Just like the whole thing. This place is like almost more like a library than a church. And people are just kind of picking up books from the shelves and basically sitting on the benches and just giving it a good read.
Are they fiction or non-fiction, or is there a mix? Sorry to
Mix.
cut you off.
There's a lot of mixing here. So you've got things like, obviously like the non-fiction that are sort of magical theories and what have you, or you've just got fictional stuff about a guy and his dog. So there's a very big mix here. So you've got children obviously reading here and whatever.
Darling.
So the priest here is a female half-orc. And they do. So what they tend to find is, you'll see this as you're sort of looking around, is the people that seem to be really thick into their books, so they're like really into it. They get served tea. So the church will give them some tea. Just
What kind?
you can't really tell, but it looks like just tea from where you are. Just to sort of keep them going. Obviously, they're very careful not to spill the tea on the books.
What's the light sources like? Is it like open candles or open flames or?
I mean, obviously it's during the day, right? So you're getting a lot of light from the outside, so they haven't needed to put any candles or anything on. But they are there. There's like hanging
flames near
Candelabras.
books.
and then plus most places aren't really lit by fire. A lot of them, they use these things called shine stones, which basically you apply pressure to them and they emit light for about 12 hours. So a lot of places like just have that in various things, unless they purposely are trying to use flame. But places like this, where they don't really want to add flame to a place, they'll use those. So, but obviously during the day they don't bother. So,
Oh, I wanted to switch my ruby into the veteran's cane as well. I would have done that on the trip.
okay, that's fine. So yeah, if you don't want to sort of do anything, you will be able to register to this place without much of an issue
We could talk to the priest.
if you want to.
What is this place?
It's the Church of Argon. Welcome.
I feel
Is this your first time?
Yes. We're all new to this, it'd be rude to call it strange religion. New to your ways.
Ah, yes, Arg, he was one that put knowledge over sort of everything. So here we focus more, rather than spending time preaching to everybody. We just let everyone come in,
Find the
And
facts
build their own-
themselves.
exactly, Exactly.
So, try not to speak out of turn here. Turn.
I am really deadly watching Agata for anything. Any shit, any throwing, any smashing, any random acts of violence or vandalism.
Calm yourself,
We,
friend. Who curates the books? Who decides what goes in here? Is it
people just bring
donations
them.
based?
Yeah,
Wow.
donations. That's why we've got a nice, varied collection. The only thing we do is when they donate them to the church, to avoid people stealing, they're all magically tied to this building. So if you were to remove it, it would just kind of come back. Because otherwise, you don't want those unruly types, ruining it for everybody else. And we feel like you should come here to read, be part of the sort of community.
Tampering with the knowledge of others should be punishable by death.
Well, a bit extreme, but yes. We, knowledge is very important.
So we can't check out a book for just a few days while we stay?
I mean,
We have
they
errands
don't
to
go
run.
anywhere. They don't go anywhere. You can just come back another day. There's a lot of books. Even if the one you want is taken, I'm sure there'll be something else that tickles your fancy.
Okay. Where's your children's section?
Question. When Agata said poisoning the minds, I
Did I
feel
say
like
that?
I'll have to... or
Sounds
something
like me.
else. Yeah, something about the twisting the minds just now. I feel like Sebastian will kind of hone in on that. There feels like there's a lot more behind that. Is there? That's my insight check.
You insight
Just
me.
is there more behind that? Yeah, 100%.
I'm sitting there watching Sebastian. Like, why are you so interested in what Agata's doing?
Many reasons. Right, insight. Ooh. 24 total.
Very nice. You could tell she sort of like certainly tightens her grip on her sword. Like she's usually just walking around with her hand on the sword on the hilt. When she talks about punishable by death, she certainly like grips and almost like if she wasn't wearing pauldrons, you'd be able to see like the veins on her hands popping out. She's very emotive in that moment, I would say. And naturally, it's strange for her to go out of her way to talk to someone. She seems oddly inquisitive about this place. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
When the priestess said fiction and non-fiction, Agata probably would have spat on the floor, or maybe went to spit on the floor and held herself back.
Yeah. But she's obviously pointing you towards where the children's section is. I mean, there's no...
Agata swiftly walks towards a book with pictures.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's fine. I mean, you'll find, what you would normally find, easy, clear, like two lines per book page.
Hark, child.
Big
What do
writing,
you recommend?
big picture. I like this one.
All right, this one it is. Grabs it out of the hand.
Okay. It's about like this girl and her yellow dog, but it's like really weird because like really bright yellow.
Oh man, this is great.
Yeah, but people were like, "What's wrong with your dog?" I think there's something wrong with your dog.
The dog's got jaundice.
No, there's nothing wrong with her dog, and that's really all it is to the story.
After reading a page, Agata will sort of kneel and sit with the child and share the book.
Cool. It's really good because it's like it doesn't matter. It's her dog. It's her friend.
That dog has a brilliant coat. I think that's the story. That's the message
I like yellow.
Yes, I like dogs. What's your name, friend?
It's Trilly.
I'll let someone else take over, and we'll come back to Trilly, unless no one has anything to do, in which case I can keep riffing.
Yeah.
I think Sebastian is
I want my baby
so
back.
taken aback, like you suddenly calming down and just being really caring with this child that he's like, I have very much got this wrong.
Is anything
You're not very good at spying on people, boy.
I don't pretend to be. Wanted her to know I was watching her.
Is there anything I can help the rest of you with?
Do you have any books on history?
Full stop. Any books?
Have we got any books yet?
Got any books in it?
Yeah. I mean, sure. Depends what kind of history you're after.
Most specifically around the time of the overthrows.
Oh, I see. I'm sure there's a book or two, yes. Over there.
Fact, not fiction.
Oh, that might be a little bit harder. I don't think so. Not many people know much. At least not enough to put in a book.
I suppose in that sense we will have to work with the fictions and see what truth tethers between.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Sure. Knowledge is just what what we make of it.
I will grab every book on the overprice.
Okay.
Every-
We are going into this library. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Basically, I'll have I'll probably 5 books open at one time, and I'm just going through.
I'll see you later. I'll see if I can pull my daggers.
Yeah. So even though obviously she said there wasn't really anything about non-fiction, the book does go in through actually quite a lot of useful information. It's a very thin book because again they don't have that much info, but you actually get a fairly decent amount of information. It's even though it's listed as fiction as such, it looks like it's more like this is the kind of information, the basic information that we have, kind of thing, So you will find out what each of the overlords are called, what race and class they were, and which region they occupied, and what region was like generally. So you'll kind of get that vibe. You're not going to learn much about what their special ability was, because remember they all had a special ability that broke past the limits of their class. So you won't know that, but you'll know you had Amaris, who was I think an elven warlock in South Valley,
That guy was a chump.
basically did nothing with the region. He kind of did his own thing. Obviously you've got Goliath, who was I think the half-orc barbarian in North Valley, who was basically hated magic. You had Fenelia, who was I think a human woman or an elven woman, who basically was made everything magical. And then you had Demeric, which was a male dwarf ranger. And he was loved the robots, and he made the metal men, because obviously we'll talk about that. And then you had Shurik, who yes. Well, they didn't really talk about that because they didn't really know much about that. But yes, he did in theory make the internet. But and then you obviously have Shurik, the human paladin, male human paladin, who is on Zia, and who basically kind of just did his own thing. Really, nobody know much about Zia really.
Is there anything about Navros with that time, them fighting Navros?
Yeah, so we will obviously talk. So it will talk, but again, very basic. So it will talk about how Navros invaded. It will talk about how it was the overlords that beat him. But not really much more than that.
There's no Navros came through a tearing portal of black and gold.
They have no idea where he came from. He just appeared one day.
Cool.
Worth a shot.
No, yeah. I mean, that is very, very specific, information that's not going to be in this book. But you get the general overview drift of it all. But yeah, you can tell there's more here. There's more to this story. But this person who wrote this book didn't know it.
It has not been written in words.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Anything else? Anyone else wants to do?
I can certainly keep going.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm going to add an hour.
Try and get the daggers.
Okay. Well, what I'll do, we'll say after an hour you kind of, I guess, finish, right?
No, I'm not done.
Oh, you're going to stay there? Well, you're going to leave Agata there then. Who's
Yes.
after an hour?
It wouldn't take an hour, but I want to press this kid for information
What information can you get from the kid?
about the orphanage.
This isn't the place.
Oh, this isn't the place. We're just in a random place.
Nope.
Oh, in that case, it's
We're here to get horses. We're not.
pathetic
We're
dogs
nowhere
lacking luster
near.
in their coat. Be well, child. And then I will take my leave.
All right. Okay. So is anyone else staying then? So
I was
Sebastian,
gone
what are you
within
gonna-
after 10 minutes. After
I
I
was
was
gonna
like,
say,
yeah, I'm
I
gone.
think
Yeah.
Once she
Once
realizes that the
Sebastian-
kid doesn't drink, she's like, "Oh, well, poor company anyway."
I think Sebastian would stay for quite a while and be
Okay.
happily left behind. When everyone has
Oh.
left, he will find a copy of Cyrilla's
Yeah,
story
if Sebastian's
if
staying,
possible,
I actually would stay.
script.
Is that okay?
a script of the play?
Yeah, because I'm
Yeah, yeah.
assuming it's here somewhere.
Yeah, there'll be one. There'll be one somewhere.
Yeah, I'll stick
And
around.
I
you.
would-
Or at least one that they've converted into like a storybook, obviously, because obviously the script
Yeah,
of a
yeah.
play is not something you would read. But yeah, the retellings, of Cyrilla.
Playwright, playbook.
Yeah. The rest of you can obviously leave. I would imagine you guys would, again, find out about what's here. So, what have we got? The pub. The pub here is called Noble's Neck. The inn is called Special Inn. The smith is called Captain Hill's Hammer. The apothecary is called Den of Vials. And the tracker emporium is called Blood Edge. And what also you will find out, which is a sort of a tidbit of information that he'll tell you, is they in this even though the harbour here is not active, this is where they make the hover ships that travel between the continents.
Was it here we got our weapons
ship.
sent?
You could get your weapons here. Yeah, they would teleport. What do you mean, weapons here?
Was this where I can't remember where we got our weapons shipped to for when they were finished with
You would have
the
done that
upgrades?
wherever
In
you
the
wanted
magic
them
box,
to.
so we could have
Yeah.
literally got
Okay.
them anywhere.
Yeah.
Any tracker emporium, we could have got it.
Yeah, exactly.
So we're all ahead to the tracker emporium then.
Yeah. Well, I suppose based on the time, we'll go next time on Tracas of Crisia. What are they going to do in this town? And what is the situation with the orphanage? Let's find out next time on Tracas of Crisia.